Hey, good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. We 2 minutes late. Blame it on UPS. He had a package he had to get here. And it ain't the one you think. I do regular orders, okay? I do not order anything that we ain't supposed to be ordering. So get that out your mind. I want to know how everybody's doing today. Welcome to Rosemary's World of Cannabis. And I have not keyed up anything yet like I supposed to. So y'all going to have to bear with me for a second. Because like I said, I was answering questions on Facebook and Twitter and everything else, so I ain't got nothing keyed up. So y'all gonna have to bear with me just one moment here whilst I get everything situated. Ellen, you ready to talk real quick?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we'll make sure we got you pulled up and we can go ahead and do this like this for a second. Okay, go ahead and say something else. I want to make sure the mic's picking you up.
Hello, everyone in Spreakerland.
Yep, it's picking you up perfectly. So go ahead and tell them who you are and what you're doing. I can go ahead and get these commercials keyed up, and we go from there.
Hello, everyone. This is Elevated Ellen. That's what I usually go by on social media. But for those who know me, I'm also called Nikki. I am the communications director for North Carolina NORML and part composer of the North Carolina medical bill that has got on Rep. Kelly Alexander's desk.
Okay, well, that's about the tease we gonna do, because we gonna go ahead. We gotta get these public service announcements out the way real quick, and then after we do that, we gonna come back and we gonna go ahead and we gonna talk about the bill. Okay, you're in tune to 710 radio, Rosemary's World of Cannabis. I'm still in wake and bake, y'all mode. Y'all know that. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory. U.S. Patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA, or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide, may provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness, specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
Hi, my name is Ricky Williams.
My name is Evan Britton.
My name is Mark Costelli.
My name is Boo Williams.
My name is Jim McMahon.
My name is Chris Cluey.
My name is Kyle Turley. I played in one of the major North American football leagues.
I have 2 championship rings from that big game we play at the end of the season.
In college, I won a trophy that looks like this.
I was a punter for 8 seasons, and punters are football players too.
I also wrote the name of the commissioner on my headband, and everyone lost their shit.
The men who play American football are subject to a life of injury,
pain,
and disease,
both during and long after their careers are over.
And that's why I smoke pot.
That's why I smoke cannabis.
That's why I smoke weed. That's why I smoked weed when I played.
It has, without a doubt, reduced the amount of pain I live with.
It's my body. I know.
But for some reason, the major North American non-Canadian football league refuses to allow players to use cannabis.
Instead of allowing for safe, natural healing,
the sport pushes players towards addictive narcotic painkillers with serious side effects.
So let's get real, Roger.
Football players should be allowed to use medicinal marijuana
without the stigma of it being a banned substance.
Cannabis isn't a drug.
It is a medicine.
You're in tune to 710 Radio, Rosemary's World of Cannabis, and I have Elevated Ellen on today, and I know everybody is waiting to find out what is in that medical bill.
Well, a lot of good stuff. I mean, a whole lot of good stuff. Hold on, let me pull up some things because I'm trying to relax a little too. I love doing this show because of the atmosphere. Thank you so much for having me on, Rosemary.
You are most certainly welcome.
And let's look and see. There's so many sections to it.
Well, I'm going to tell you the ones that's been popping up this morning for me on different pages I've been looking at. People want to know exactly what pertains in the bill. People want to know if they're growing the bill. People want to know is it going to be a regulation similar to here in South Carolina? Is it going to be a virtual, or is it going to be more of a everybody bill?
Well, it's going to be for everybody because, first of all, it's 37 pages long.
Yes, it is.
And Rep. Alexander has this, but I also have just got a decrim bill done, too, that I just got finished composing.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not set in stone which one he's going to put in yet, but he's going to put in one this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he kind of, from what I understand and what I talked with David Sedentry with Fox 46, they want to do a decrim this year and then propose a medical cannabis bill in 2019 that would take effect in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this bill does include homegrown. We're even asking for 36 plants because we're negotiating here. Now.
Okay, let's stop right there.
In this bill,
okay, you say you're going to ask for 36 plants.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for because there's a bill writing department in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get it, and then they're going to rip out what they don't like and put in what they want. So, being that this is a suggestion, and they're going, if they see 36 plants, they might agree to see, that way we're at least going to get 6. So, the higher I went,
yeah, that's
the more
so true.
negotiating room I have.
That is so true.
So, and then there's collectives that are involved. I really like the collective system, and I don't feel like we're going to be doing a service to patients if there is not collectives and home growth.
Well, you want to explain a collective for some people that don't know what a collective is?
Oh, a collective is where it's kind of like a dispensary, except for these people are over patients, and they're allowed to be over 5 patients. Each grower in the collective is allowed to be over 5 patients. Now, the patients pay a minimum fee per month, usually between $25 to $75 per month, and they just go and they can get up to, in some places it's 2 ounces of flour a week and a couple of grams of extract a week, but we're going to try to make it regulated where you can have as much as you need if you're making your own medicine. So, and the way that that's going to work is every 10th plant in the collective is automatically going to be donated to people who are on Social Security disability. That way the state cannot argue that they're paying for cannabis.
That's interesting. That is very interesting. I had never heard of anybody coming up with a collective forum. That's one of the things that piqued my attention right there because we have so many people that's on in both North and South Carolina that's on disability and does not have the money. Say, let's say, for instance, they go to the doctor. That doctor visit could be anywhere from $100 on up. And if they have to go to a dispensary, that's even more cost. So I like that idea right there itself.
Yes, and people are not going to be able to afford their medicines. The patients that need this, most of them are on assistance, and that they've worked and they've paid into a system, and they deserve their benefits as well. So, and if you have $1,200 a month coming in, even with assistance, you cannot afford $45 a gram for an extract.
Nope.
You cannot afford. I heard in Maryland, wasn't it like $400 or $500 an ounce or something they was trying to pull?
Yeah, it's expensive. I know I couldn't even afford it. So yeah, it's up there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm quite sure, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a poll up after the show today on my personal page and Miss Green Jean's page. I want to poll all the states that currently has medical cannabis and see how much they're paying per ounce for medical grade cannabis and medical grade concentrate if possible, and see if I get a list of people that's like that, and we'll talk about that on next Thursday's show, because I'm definitely interested in the prices and everything and how we can judge from there, because right now it's like throwing darts at a dartboard. It's a hit and miss.
Yes, and well, it's scary too, because cancer patients need to be able to afford their medicine, and this collective system, well, it's a kind of a hippie commune system. Everybody puts in and everybody reaps, and with that system, I really don't feel like you can fail, because there's going to be patients who can home grow. They have the mobility to home grow. They have the space to home grow, but there's patients in the cities that don't have room, even for an urban garden.
Right.
So I feel like that's important, and I feel like home grow is especially important, because I met a lady, and she was from a state that it was growing, and she said something that was very profound to me, and it has stuck in my head, and I've been using her saying, that no one is qualified to grow my medicine but me.
You got that right.
I would feel so much better knowing what was on every bit of my medicine, because then you know what's on it. You know who grew it. You know where it's coming from. You know everything about it, and it's safer that way. That's the safest way that you can consume that medicine, in my opinion.
In my opinion as well, because I know you heard me talk about this, I think it was a week or two ago, where they're putting tracking systems on the plants coming out of Colorado. You know, we don't know what's in that chemical base to track that plant. I personally don't want it. If I was even in the state of Colorado, I won't be buying any from them if I visit there, because the point of it is this: I don't know what you're putting on your plants as of now. My system is very delicate.
Right? So. And we got away from this system to save ourselves. And it was the pharmaceutical companies who were, I was on steroids. Okay, let me tell you something. There is no kind of, and they say steroids don't make you high. I beg to differ.
I beg to differ too.
And they blow you up, and you feel bad, and they say it's for inflammation, but then you're on them for 3 months, and you've gained 30 pounds because you can't do nothing but eat. You can't do nothing but eat. And you're swollen up, and you're just in the toxins, the aluminum, the mercury, the things that hold the drugs together that are actually being produced are so bad.
That is so bad true. For us. That is so
and
true.
They ain't killing me.
Yeah, I feel you on that. What I did want to ask you also, Ellen, on the the question that's gonna come up about felons in cannabis, far as North Carolina. Say, for instance, a person that's been convicted of a crime, cannabis or non-cannabis related, and still considered a felon after 20 years.
3 years. 3 years. From the date of conviction, you qualify to do anything you want to do with the medical cannabis industry.
That would be excellent to know, because that's why I have a problem with a lot of the programs that's being coming up. They're not thinking about the main person that, suffered the most behind it.
Now, I don't know how they feel about it on the federal level, but their felonies whenever they are young. 80% of felonies are non-violent. So why can't these people be in this industry? Because they want to keep them down further. I'm going to go ahead and tell it. Because they want to keep them through a system where they keep going back to prison, and they keep making money off of them, and they keep profiteering and having their free slavery.
That is exactly correct. I mean, that is down to the bare minimum, and that's what the problem is with Mr. Sessions. Mr. Sessions has stake in the private prison systems, and currently he is seeing a decrease on his profits, because the fact is this: each state that passes these medical bills that makes cannabis legally far as medical or recreation, the crime rate is going down. You want to know why it's going down? Because people are not out there breaking the law selling cannabis.
Right.
Because there is no market for it. If I can go to a dispensary, why am I going to go to the black market? Or better yet, if I can grow it, which some of the states are finding out, the ones that's growing, their crime rate has even dropped even more. Because if I can grow 6, let's say for instance, if I was in DC, for example, I could grow 6 plants. They ain't saying the mature or immature level. They just stated 6 plants. Why am I going to go out there to the black market and buy something? Or better yet, why am I going to go to the dispensary at this point knowing I can't afford it? You know, which is I'm going to do? Have gas for my car, food for myself and my family? Or can I just go ahead and grow these plants? I'll be safe at home. I know what's on these plants or what's in these plants, and I'll be straight. You know, that's the thing that a lot of people are not looking at.
And buy the plants from a certified seed handler and certified seed grower, and you're making an investment, a one-time investment. I know some of these seeds are $140 a seed, but if you even get another seed off of there, there's your next generation. And if you know what you're doing, you know how to make your seeds come up if you want them, and you know how to make them not come up if you don't want them.
And something else that we were talking about also with the opioid addiction here in North Carolina and in South Carolina, I think it'd be a discourtesy to the safety and health of both states to not take a serious look at this program, because there in North Carolina, they have shown time and time again where the paramedics had to rush out and give them the Lazarus drug to bring them back to life. And you know, they had one couple, it was a couple, and they had a young child in the car, and that's what scares me even worse. What if they passed out whilst they were driving with that kid in the car?
Well, here is some facts, and these are true. Now, since 2013, 55,000 doses of Narcan have been given out by harm reduction. 9,000 lives have been saved. Confirmed.
That's a lot.
Paramedics, police, okay? Now, 3.5 people die every day in North Carolina for overdose. And it's too many. And it's probably more because the statistics, it's not reported correctly. If you find somebody that is, in a ditch and has been in a ditch for 6 months, you don't really know if they died from an overdose or if somebody,
right.
You can do forensic, but it only goes so far.
That is so true. And they do find a lot of people in this area, in cars and in ditches and everywhere, and they have to be listed as unknown death, and who knows, that might be a death from overdose. Wow.
It's just, and they are looking at it. North Carolina's attention is got because there are so many parents who are saying, well, you know what, we're going to sue Buncombe County. And we're, not Buncombe, but Buncombe County said, you know what, we're going to sue. We're going to sue the pharmaceutical companies. The whole county, there was enough parents in Buncombe County. This is alarming. That there was enough parents in Buncombe County to get up and sue the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, but this is where I have a problem with that.
Little county.
But this is where I have a problem with this, Ellen. I understand the big pharma, because I can't say pharmaceutical, worth a damn. The big pharmas, yeah, they got their fault. But what about the doctors that's prescribing these pills? You can't let them off. You can't, because and that's why I have a problem in lies with me on this. If you're gonna go after the pharmaceutical companies, you need to go after the doctors as well, because without the doctors, the pharmaceuticals couldn't do everything they're doing. And if they're going on top of that, they was to go in at the House and Senate representatives at the local, state, and federal level, because if they wasn't getting big pharma to grease them palms, none of this would be happening.
Oh, and in my little bill, because the cannabis community, we do scream, hey, we scream a lot, we're going to help the opioid problem. Well, in this little bill, so hold on, I'm going to find it so I can read it verbatim to the people. A doctor can be fined. If you're on, the medical cannabis system goes into place, if you're on Suboxone or Methadone, and the medical cannabis system goes in place, and you go to see your Suboxone or methadone doctor, and they do not offer you medical cannabis, a recommendation for medical cannabis, before they give you Suboxone or methadone, they will get fined $1 million.
Yes, I love that. That is incredible. Because the point of it is this, and I'm glad you brought to that point. If you notice, I know here in South Carolina, right here in Rock Hill, I seen a treatment center popped up already. We got all these treatment centers popping up, and they're going to be using methadone. That stuff is not good for you.
Listen, they had little signs up around here that said microloans for Suboxone, and we started ripping up all the signs. You don't see the signs anymore. I called the city and told them that they had, because really in North Carolina they tax for everything, so I wanted these people to get taxed for every letter on the sign that was on the side of the road. I've had a business before in North Carolina, and they made me do it. Okay?
Did you say they tax them for every letter?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
ma'am. They tax me for every letter on my damn sign.
Dang.
State of North Carolina will do that to you. If you have a business address and it's a sign that's attached to your building, you have to pay a tax for every letter. It was like $5 a letter back then, plus $100 for the sign. So they probably charging $25 a letter now.
Oh my God, that's horrible. But yeah. So what else is in that bill? We already discussed. Okay, this is what I want to know. What if you have a child under the age of 18 and needs this medicine? How will they go about that?
They can have their caregiver, that is, their parent can be their caregiver, or they can have a designated caregiver. We're going to have designated caregivers in a medical program who are saying that I will be responsible for this medicine, and I will hold accountable how much medicine goes in and out. Mm-hmm. If someone, cannot grow it themselves. So, and them being a caregiver, they can say, well, I gave them this strain for this, and this is how it affected them, and they can help the person get well.
Okay.
And I would actually suggest that most designated caregivers be holistic healers.
Okay, explain holistic healing for those who don't know what that is.
These are shamans. They're not necessarily licensed by any kind of board or the FDA. These are the healers that Big Pharma goes after. These are the doctors that you see who are dying. They often commit suicide in the U.S. I'm just saying. But whenever these are the doctors that will use the medicine as it's supposed to be used, and they're interested in using this medicine as it's supposed to be used. Mm-hmm. And they're not licensed, but they are just as good as a doctor because they know the herbs that they are giving you. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. They've had horticulture classes usually, and they have greenhouses, and they do the best that they can.
Right.
And they do a better job than most regular doctors.
Okay. Well, I have quite a few doctor friends on my team that's going to be asking this question. What if we have doctors currently in North Carolina that is practicing medicine and they're thinking about crossing over to the world of cannabis? How hard will it be for them to get through this bill to get in a school or class, or is that still in the unknown right now?
That's still in the unknown because I am a qualified individual and you are a qualified individual, and there are many qualified individuals in North Carolina, but I need some people to step up and stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to volunteer my time, and it doesn't matter what my time is worth more than any amount of money that I can give, and help us do this. These programs need to be implemented, and the classes are going to need to be given. And I am actually looking at Dr. Uma Dehabilan in Baltimore to see if she would go ahead and start helping the doctors. She already said she would, because she would like to actually retire and live in Asheville.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I know Dr. Uma. I love her to death. And I do know I have a couple of doctors that's in Charlotte that has brought this question up to me. So when I go back to see them, I will be definitely passing on that information that we're working in the process of getting that done. Because we do have doctors here in North Carolina and in South Carolina that have approached me about learning more about this plant, because their hands are tied right now, but they actually really truly want to help. But they don't know which way to go.
They don't don't know which way to go and who to be pointed to.
Right.
And we need to solve this pretty quickly. Now, I will also go ahead, and there's some people that's going to hate on me for this.
You know what I told you about haters and motivators?
Dr. Milton Byrd. A lot of people said that he was a blow to the cannabis community. No, the state of North Carolina was a blow to the cannabis community because he never claimed everything that they said he claimed, but he does have a degree in respiratory therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So that does make him a qualified medical professional to attest to what symptoms are and what are alleviated.
Wow.
Now, and he went to court and he proved it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see, I don't know if he would be willing to, because he was targeted, but this is the problem that we are having. Do you see how this man was targeted? Because he was trying to help.
Yes.
He was trying to help in the Monsanto and Marlboro state.
Yeah. Are you there, Ellen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted to make sure we didn't lose you. Yeah, I mean, the problem is this. You're going to be targeted, and me and you both know this as a fact. As long as you're fighting for rights for patients, and you're not going with the hype of Big Pharma and everything else, you're going to be targeted. That's just a known fact. You're either going to be targeted by them, or you're going to be targeted by many other things that's in our lovely cannabis community. But this is the thing, is this. You can't let that stop you. You have to keep going on. You have to keep... And this is what I say to that doctor. I have an open door policy. If you would love to come on the show, or anybody like to come on the show that is working in the cannabis community, you have an ideal, you have a service, you have goods, if it's CBD, hemp, or cannabis, we would love to have you on the show to talk about that. So don't ever feel you don't have a platform. You do. So. But
thank you so much, Rosemary, because I do think that Dr. Byrd, and I don't know if he will, I hope he gets to hear this, he does need a platform to be known again. His reputation, they succeeded at his reputation crash.
Well, we're going to build it back up again, because we need more doctors like him. We need more people like us. I mean, everybody, this is the thing that burns my bra, and I know I'm getting a little bit off script here. But, and I know we have a lot of people listening as well. First of all, I want to say thank you for listening. And this is the second thought I have. No matter how many bills get written, regardless in whatever state, until we actually get boots on the ground, that means people physically going to these, every meeting that they have in the House, the Senate, every time this bill comes up, it needs to be packed. It needs to go in the overflow rooms. That is the only way, because they're going to keep feeding us this bullshit about that their constituents don't want it. 80% in North Carolina, the recent polls show, and 73% in South Carolina poll also show that medical cannabis is wanted in both of these states. But I guarantee you, when both of us go to legislators this year, especially here in South Carolina, we're going to get fed that same bullshit. And I'm telling you right now, they want to go ahead and get their little mighty, whoever, the judge or whoever they got to get, because I'm going to stand up and call them a fucking lie.
Well, Rose, and I got to encourage people to do this again. We had a federal research bill that North Carolina could turn to the federal research to know that we have enough research to know that cannabis is a medicine.
Wait a minute. Did you say research to know the research?
Yeah, we need to please call Tom Tillis in North Carolina residents, and ask him if he has learned enough yet.
Shit.
Ask him if 8 years of study, because I'm sure that he didn't go that long to college, and probably only that, and if he did go to college, that's probably the extent of his college career was 8 years. So to be for sure by now, he should know.
So that's what he's hanging his hat on, that he don't know. Well, I tell you like this here. What we gonna do, me and you, Ellen, you usually get through to everybody. When you get ready to contact Mr. Tillis, this is what I want for my birthday. My birthday is coming up next month in March 14th. I like for my birthday gift to tell Tom Tillis, there in the legislature, and carry my little pill bottles with him and tell him to count each pill I had since my surgery. That's my gift that I want for my birthday this year. I want him to count every pill that I had since I have had my knee replacement surgery. If that ain't proof enough for him that I don't need Big Pharma in my life, nothing else is.
Amen.
I mean, I want him to count them out on live on the Senate floor.
Back to the boots on the ground, Rose. Okay, let me tell you what they have done now in North Carolina.
Uh-oh.
Now, last year we were able to, activists were able to, and I want to say a big thank you to Dana Hall and Rebecca Forbes, because these ladies organized the table to lobby for us with North Carolina Women for Cannabis, and they did the best they could with what they had, and I commend them so much. I'm grateful. But now this year, we cannot do that.
What? Why?
We can set up tables, but not where they pass by. They're putting, because they said because of the antics and the circus-like behavior. And I quote,
Wait a minute. From what I seen, and I was noticing that because I was at the hospital in Charlotte. I didn't see it.
All activists, not just cannabis activists, all activists. We are now over in the courtyard now.
Who in the fuck want to be out in the courtyard in March in damn wintertime in North Carolina? They lost their motherfucking minds.
Yeah, so we need people to actually go in and knock on doors and say, "Excuse me, how are you? I would like to speak to you." We need that now, more than ever.
Yeah, but this is the question. What's the chance of us getting on the document to speak on the floor?
Very slim. Now, I do know that, I don't know, Kendra was asked one time not to get on the floor to speak, but in a private room by Rep. Alexander. So if there was another mother like Kendra who would stand beside her, I think that would be very effective.
I want them to do my pill count on camera. I don't care where it's at.
Okay.
I don't care where it's at. It can be in North Carolina, South Carolina. Because I think with that pill count, and this is just me personally, I think with that bill count being in the states that we are in right now, regardless of North or South Carolina, that pill count alone will do a lot of effect on the opioid crisis and us getting medical cannabis passed. Because if anybody knows had any kind of surgery, that's painful.
Yes, and like you doing your pill count, there needs to be a platform for patients, especially, to come out and tell their stories. Because here's the reason, like, you know our boy Ziggy Rose, he actually got 5 years cancer-free. I mean, they have told him you're cured of cancer.
Wow.
Thanks to cannabis and coconut oil.
Exactly. Because I wouldn't be able to do this show without cannabis and coconut oil and bombs and edibles, and I mean, to be honest with you, I'm on a 85% cannabis diet as much as possible because I don't want to be like I was almost 2 years ago. I had my cannabinoid levels had dropped to dangerously low levels, and I don't want to go through that again.
It's not fun because it messes up your cognitive skills, your motor skills, your nervous system is a wreck. And I think that's the reason why we hear of so much mental illness, because our cannabinoids are supposed to go into our nervous system. They're supposed to go into our brain, into our central and peripheral nervous system.
And with that, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. You're listening to 710 Radio. Oh shoot! Can I get off the Wake and Bake show now, please? I can do that 5 days a week, and the Tuesdays and Thursdays I screw up so bad. Y'all forgive me. We'll be right back to Rosemary's World of Cannabis. I need to medicate y'all for real. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory. U.S. Patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA, or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide, may provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness, specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
Hi, my name is Ricky Williams.
My name is Evan Britton.
My name is Mark Rostelli.
My name is Boo Williams.
My name is Jim McMahon.
My name is Chris Cluey.
My name is Kyle Turley. I played in one of the major North American football leagues.
I have 2 championship rings from that big game we play at the end of the season.
In college, I won a trophy that looks like this.
I was a punter for 8 seasons, and punters are football players too.
I also wrote the name of the commissioner on my headband, and everyone lost their shit.
The men who play American football are subject to a life of injury,
Pain,
And disease.
Both during and long after their careers are over.
And that's why I smoke pot.
That's why I smoke cannabis.
That's why I smoke weed. That's why I smoked weed when I played.
It has, without a doubt, reduced the amount of pain I live with.
it's my body. I know.
But for some reason, the major North American non-Canadian Football League refuses to allow players to use cannabis.
Instead of allowing for safe, natural healing,
the sport pushes players towards addictive narcotic painkillers with serious side effects.
So let's get real, Roger.
Football players should be allowed to use medicinal marijuana
Without the stigma of it being a banned substance.
Cannabis isn't a drug.
It is a medicine.
And we're back. It's now 39 minutes after the hour. You're in tune to 710 Radio, Rosemary's World of Cannabis. Yeah, I'm on the right show now. And we're back. The doggies had to take a little break, and so did we. So, Ellen, you still with me?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then, girls. Stage is all yours.
Okay, now I'm scrolling through my this little composition I have here, and a couple things I want to talk about are some of the definitions. There are a lot of definitions because there's a lot of different roles to people that need to be played.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that being said, there are definitions for your registry card holder, your qualified patients, just all kinds of things, the ailments that qualify. So there are certain ailments that are listed so that you don't have to have a certain disease to get a recommendation.
Okay.
So, and then there's protections for people in North Carolina that I have suggested, especially where no parent will be denied visitation or custodian rights to their children, and also protections for those on Social Security disability, that they do not have the right to take away any of your assistance because you are a medical cannabis patient. And I would like to have, because the rights are in there, I also hope that gun laws are protected in such a fashion too.
Is that in the current bill that you drawn up?
Well, it hasn't gone in yet, so I think that I should put that in there, that you should have your rights to bear arms shall be protected. Because we have a Republican, actually, Richard Hudson in North Carolina, and he's the one who introduced the whole concealed carry over state line bill that a bunch of people got mad about.
Right.
But I mean, it is like a driver's license. If you're responsible enough to drive with one driver's license in every state, if that says you're responsible enough to operate a motor vehicle, then another registry card that is identifiable just as your driver's license should also be able to carry the weight of saying that you're a responsible adult who's allowed to have a firearm.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100% because why should I come from South Carolina and say I got a concealed weapon permit, and then I got to go to North Carolina, apply for the permit, possibly have to go through another class? That's extra time and money I don't have.
Exactly. And as females, and if you're a patient too, if your mobility isn't well, I mean, that's the only way I really feel safe in the world.
You got that right, especially as it's getting crazy in the world. So yeah, so that is a very good point, and that's probably how cannabis gonna wind up being sooner or later. And you know, I don't know if you caught it yet, but TSA is kind of frowning on people flying. You know that, right?
I didn't hear you, baby. I'm sorry.
The TSA about flying with cannabis. I put an article up about that. Did you catch that yet? Yeah. They at one point you could fly from point A to point B. I know this is getting a little bit off subject, but we're gonna go back onto it. It has variants. Okay, we have all these states currently that has medical cannabis. Currently, they don't want you trying to fly with your medication, which at one point they said you could if you're going from one state to the next state. Say, for instance, if I was going from Florida to California, I would be able to fly with my medication. But this is the question I'm going to say. If you got it packed and secured and everything else, and you're not using it on the flight, why can't you fly with it and you have a medical card?
Because they want to be assholes.
And being big assholes. But people gonna do it anyway. I mean, 9 times out of 10, TSA is not gonna be looking for, I'm not saying there is or is not. I'm just saying 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be looking for explosives more than they is for weed. And I just hate to put it out there.
Well, I mean, they'll look for us for weed because they probably know who we are. But the rest of y'all might be safe.
No, I change my look every time before I go in. I change my look. They don't, honey. I always, when I'm traveling, I do not look the same way as when I'm doing the shows or out there and everything like that. I change up my whole look because I'm not trying to get stopped because of the fact of who I am. It's sad that you have to wear disguises just to go places, but as of now, I found me to be more comfortable with doing that. So if I travel, I don't have the same, and I'm put out there, I wear wigs. I don't have the same wig on. I don't have the same, when I do my transformation, you wouldn't even recognize me.
Wow.
I'm that scared of being locked up, man. I'm being dead serious. I don't want to be
different glasses and everything.
Yes, even I'm down to the contact lenses, honey. That's how paranoid I am at this point of being arrested for cannabis use because, God forbid if I'm going from one state that has it and one that does not.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here, and I'm not going to say that my police department condones what I'm doing because they never said go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? I only get it twisted like that. But I feel safe at home. Now, even whenever I leave the city limits, I get paranoid, and I don't even have anything on me. Just going into the county, I'm like, oh, God. I'm in sheriff's territory now, So I feel you on that. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
I feel safe in a 15-mile radius, and that's about it.
Well, your radius is a little bigger than mine, honey. I'm gonna tell you like this here. In some cases, I don't even feel comfortable at home, and you've seen where I live at. But that's just the post-traumatic stress disorder that a cannabis user in an illegal state has to deal with, and mine is getting worse. Because if you see the police car, and say for instance, if I was sitting here at my house, taking a token, I see the cop car, accidentally turning my driveway, you don't think I would shit all over myself? Yeah, about like I did whenever I got my article yesterday, but we won't go into that. We ain't going to go into details about that. But that's what I'm saying, and that's not right. We're not out here breaking any laws. We're not out here, bombing nowhere. We out here, taking a plant. We're peaceful people. Instead of a glass of wine or aspirin, we want a plant. But look at it this way. If we either had aspirin or wine, I'll just use wine for example. You drink so many glasses of wine, you can wind up with alcohol poisoning and die. I can sit here and smoke cannabis from now until I pass out. Guess what? I might wake up hungry as hell, want to eat up everything in sight, but at least I'll still be here to tell the story.
And I got to quit doing that. I'm gaining weight. I've been eating like hell the past couple of days. I got to quit that. Wake up hungry. Oh, Lord.
You've had some good THC. That's all we gonna say to that. But you know what? The strangest thing about that is this. You and a lot of other people have suffered with the munchies. You know, I don't get the munchies after smoking. I never have.
Really?
Nope. I've been smoking so long, I don't get the munchies anymore. I don't.
I have smoked some weed that just immediately, I need to go to Taco Bell.
Wow.
No doubt about it.
But
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
But guys, and seriously, all jokes aside, we gonna find a way to post up everything that we shared today on the show on the Facebook. I think I might let Ellen post it up, and I'll just share from her post. I think you have better access than I do.
I already posted the show up.
No, I ain't talking about the show. I'm talking about some of the bill.
Yeah. The 37-page bill cannot be posted up on a website. Any website. We tried to do it on the North Carolina normal website.
Mm-hmm.
One time, I copied and pasted the whole thing. 37 pages.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, it's supposed to be able to handle it. The software is supposed to be magical, according to some people. So I put it in there, and it shut the whole website down. It froze. It froze Dan's whole network. A buddy of mine in Charlotte, you know who Dan is.
Yeah, I know who Dan is.
He's got a network. Okay?
Damn.
He's got a network. It froze his whole network. Everything stopped. It was so... we can't post it all at once, but I can email it to anybody that is interested. Hit up the inbox and
get ready, because it's gonna be busy. I'll do the same thing. But how about this? We'll both do that then. If you want a copy of the bills, I have copies, and so does Ellen. We'll post up our email addresses on each site that we'll be happy to send it from that. And go from there, because I want everybody to be able to read what we're talking about in detail. And if they have any questions, we can do a future show.
Comments, concerns.
Yes.
If they don't feel like they're protected under there, they need to know. And really look at the verbiage of things, because it can't be plainly stated. The law likes to trick people. So there's some things that are there's trickery in the word.
Right.
So read it carefully.
But what I like about the bill that I've read so far, and I've read 10 pages, I would have read more, but I had other things that were going on that were popping up, and I'm like, I got to take care of this, take care of that. So out the 10 pages I read so far, and I have no law degree, I can follow this very closely. And with that in mind, that means the common everyday person can read this as well. So don't think when you get this, it's not something that you can't read and understand. So yeah.
Yeah, I do not have a law degree. I graduated high school from School of Tomorrow in Houston, Texas, and that is, I took a CNA class, and that was about it.
Well, I ain't finna go into all my classes, because that'll be another show in itself. I done went to so much damn school.
But it's how I would want it to be. I mean, I want to know what is going on. Don't put all this Latin in here.
I know. Some of them bills, I needed a Latin thesaurus and I don't even speak Latin. So that tells you right there, by me looking at that bill alone, and also the decrim bill and the other thing that you have 3 different ones. And first of all, let me give you kudos for you and everybody else that worked on those policies and decrim and everything else. That's a lot of free time that you're giving up. I mean, tons and tons of it. And you said it took you 6 months?
3 months of research. I researched 3 months before I began writing the bill. And then I sent this bill, me and Abner Brown looked at this bill for probably another 3 more months, and we're still not done with it. If we can do some more to it, we're going to probably work on it right until it goes in.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to sit down And I'm probably going to have to turn the phone off and everything else just to go through all 37 pages because I'm like that. I'm anal like that. So it will be read in entirety by the next time I talk to you again on this show, where we can go even further into it. But like I said, everything that I've seen so far, you know, I didn't see no vertical grow, which is a big thing, a huge thing, because that's where it's going to fit the system. A vertical grow has failed in Florida. And if the South Carolina even implement, it's going to fail. Because we're steady growing each and every day, both states, North and South Carolina. And there's no way in hell you can have a vertical grow and expect it to work. It doesn't work.
No, it's for the people. This bill is for the people, and and if you want these things to be kept in this bill, you must call the bill department. You must call your legislators. You must tell them, look, we need this in this bill. Every bit of this bill. If you feel like something is important to you in that bill that you feel like you really need to be protected under, make sure whenever you call a right to say so.
Mm-hmm. And the only way they can do that is they have their hot little hands on a copy, and we'll be happy to share that with them. I'm not going to give my email address out on the air, but if you check on either page, I will post up that one time and one time only. You better share and share quickly, because once we're down, they're down.
I have an email address that I can share. It's comdirector@ncnormal.org. That's COMMDIRECTOR@ncnorml.org. O-R-G.
Okay. Well, since she shared that, I'm going to go ahead and share that on Facebook and Twitter as well. We're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up the show today, but I want to thank you again, Ellen, for taking your time out on Thursdays and letting everybody know in the state of North Carolina what's going on. Y'all got any upcoming events coming up soon?
We have a bunch of events coming up soon. This Saturday is the March on Raleigh. There's some of us that have to work, like myself, that can't make it. But if you can get to Raleigh and do the march, we would so appreciate it. 420 events coming up in the Winston-Salem Triad area, and Lobby Day in Raleigh, May the 22nd. Mark your calendars, North Carolina people. May the 22nd is a Tuesday. We need boots on the ground.
Okay, then. Well, we're going to be reminding them all those. I was asked to go to Raleigh. If I can find transportation, somebody wants to swing by Rock Hill and pick me up, I'll be happy to go. So keep that in mind as well. So that's about it, man. I think we covered a lot of information today. I know what I wanted to share with you real quick whilst I have you on the air. I don't know if you watch this channel or not down in your area, but WBTV had on the morning break this morning, was talking about yoga and cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was just reading that they're having something down in I think it's in Asheville with CBD and cannabis.
Yes. So I've seen about it, and I mean, it looks interesting. It's not really something I would be interested in doing, but it's an interesting concept. Still the same, and that's ingenuity. You have to applaud ingenuity like that. You can't knock it. That's ingenuity right there.
Yeah, but I know it works because when I was going through rehab and everything, I would use cannabis prior to going because it relaxes your body, your muscles and everything. Mm-hmm. And it helps, believe it or not, it helps that blood to circulate, believe it or not, when you're doing the stretching poses, because I do yoga, because it's the only way I can keep my mind sane, is doing 2 shows in one day, or better yet, after doing the Wake and Bake show, when I'm quite not waked and baked. I do yoga just to calm myself and relax myself, and I think it would be beneficial for those who had never tried yoga to try either doing it one of the classes that's there in a legal state where they can actually use cannabis. But for those who can use the CBD oil in the class, I recommend that as well. I am trying to get in shape enough so I can start my own classes of doing the yoga classes far as the CBD class, using CBD oils or whatever they have in the area at the time, because I know for a fact it works. I mean, for those who want to get the most out their workout, I strongly recommend you using CBDs if you're in your area, and also cannabis.
I work out every day. I do not do yoga. I do a good cardio and, a little bit of sculpting. And, my workout goes better. I feel like I breathe better. I feel like it's more beneficial. I do feel like I have better results because of the cannabinoids.
Yep. That is so true.
And then endorphins get pumping with them cannabinoids. It makes you feel good.
Yep. And and it doesn't take you so long to recover. I mean, I used to work out in the gym like a beast. That's no joke. And that without using cannabis or CBDs. And I think about how much time it took my body to recover. Now think about it for a second. If I'd been using those cannabinoids or THC or CBDs, think about how much better. Maybe my body wouldn't be in such trouble as it is right now. Think about it for a second. Just think about it.
For real. I gotta go work out now.
Exactly.
So, Rose, thank you for having me on the show. Everybody, y'all have a lovely day. I'm going to let Rose sign off now.
All right, then, girl. You have a good one. We will be talking real soon. Trust that.
All right. Have a good day.
All
Bye.
Right. Bye, y'all. Hey, guys. That's Elevated Ellen. She comes on the show at least once a week with us. On Thursdays is her day. We talk about things that's going on in North and South Carolina. And I love her for coming on the show, for doing what she does. She gives us a lot of information and everything. So, guys, hey, you got the best of the best today, man. I mean, we're going to get those bills out for y'all so you can take a look at them at yourself. And like I said before, if anybody's trying to help us to get a grow bill, and that's important to me, it's real important, because I talk to people all throughout the country, all throughout North and South Carolina, and grow is important in either state, because we're not in the richest state in the world, guys, and we both know that. And we have a lot of people that live on less than $700 a month, and they've already told me if the bills pass in either North or South Carolina, they would not be able to afford to go get their medicine because they don't have the money. And a lot of the doctors are not going to be doing the discounts like they're doing in other states, because it's all about money. And it shouldn't be about the money. It should be about the patient. And until we can get it that way, guys, we got to do the best we can with what we have. So I just want you to think about that. And we're coming into election year. Look at your candidate's background. See where they stand on cannabis. And if they don't say so, ask them about it. Say, how do you feel about cannabis in North or South Carolina? What is your views on it? Not what your constituent says, your personal views. And see what the answer is. And if they can't answer that question, it might be time for you to look at a different candidate. It's just something to think about, guys, before you go in that voting chamber and say who you're going to vote for the next election, for whoever, the governor, the mayor, the House representative, the Senate representative, local, state, and federal people. It does make a difference. And before I leave, I want to say congratulations to our Supreme Court Justice in Colorado. He's keeping his foot on the ground, sir. I applaud you. I'm coming across the lines. Would personally love to shake your hand. And until they get their mind made up together on how they want to do this thing about cannabis, keep upholding it. Keep being strong, man. I love you to death for doing that. We don't always agree upon everything, but from one Colorado to another, keep up the good work, my friend, because you're doing us proud. Colorado strong. And with that, I'm going to close with this. Hey, guys, thank you, Rick, for letting me do what I do Tuesdays and Thursdays, talking to you about cannabis. I'm not a talk show host, but I portray one Tuesdays and Thursdays. Y'all know me. I like to be on the crazy and fun side, but every now and then you got to be an adult, and this is my adult side. I hope you love it. I try to do the best that I can, but this comes out of love. It's not coming out of money or anything else. If I don't make one dime, that's great. But if I can help somebody to keep from winding up being hurt by opioids, or better yet, a family member losing somebody to opioids, I feel that's way more payment than any dollar can give me. So, from the Rocky Mountain tops of Denver, Colorado, all the way down to this nasty red clay that you can't get out of shit in South Carolina, you've been educated and informed at the best way possible. Free 99, y'all. It works. Trust me and believe that. Y'all have a great day, okay?
Hi, my name is Ricky Williams.
My name is Evan Britton.
My name is Mark Costelli.
My name is Boo Williams.
My name is Jim McMahon.
My name is Chris Cluey.
My name is Kyle Turley. I played in one of the major North American football leagues.
I have 2 championship rings from that big game we play at the end of the season.
In college, I won a trophy that looks like this.
I was a punter for 8 seasons, and punters are football players too.
I also wrote the name of the commissioner on my headband, and everyone lost their shit.
The men who play American football are subject to a life of injury,
Pain,
And disease.
both during and long after their careers are over.
And that's why I smoke pot.
That's why I smoke cannabis.
That's why I smoke weed. That's why I smoked weed when I played.
It has, without a doubt, reduced the amount of pain I live with.
it's my body. I know.
But for some reason, the major North American non-Canadian Football League refuses to allow players to use cannabis.
Instead of allowing for safe natural healing,
The sport pushes players towards addictive narcotic painkillers with serious side effects.
So let's get real, Roger.
Football players should be allowed to use medicinal marijuana.
Without the stigma of it being a banned substance.
Cannabis isn't a drug.
It is a medicine.